Hello everyone, Jack of all interests here, and welcome to my Batcave. Alfred, roll the video. In today's video, I would like to share my thoughts on the newly announced Batmobile sets from LEGO. Being a jack of all interests, of course, I also watch different kinds of superhero movies, I like pop culture, and one of my all-time favorite superheroes is Batman. When it comes to superhero sets from LEGO, Batman theme is the only theme that I collect when it comes to superheroes. And I already have quite an extensive collection, if you can call it like that. So before we jump into the review of the newly announced sets and whether I will buy them or not, let me show you what I already have in my collection. So let's start with the non-Batmobile set that I have, and that is the Batwing. So in my opinion, this is a really great set, and I think this is a really great alternative to the newly announced set once again from LEGO with the Batman logo. You can actually make a Batman logo out of the Batwing, and it actually costs less, and I think it's basically, well, 2-in-1. The only thing and downside is the fact that you actually need to make a sort of a stand that I did with the Technic bricks, but all in all, you get this cool looking Batman logo, and it is also a Batwing, so 2-in-1. The next set is the Batmobile, yeah. So honestly, I haven't watched the old Batman series from the 50s or 60s, I don't remember from which year it was. It is super goofy, and I think watching it nowadays will simply hurt your brain because it is way too cringy. So back in the day, of course, I think it was cool, but nowadays it's unbearable to watch. So, but the set itself is super cool, so I truly like how the old school Batmobile looks, because it was just a regular car with different kinds of sort of like gadgets, very futuristic, and I think this really is a cool set. Continuing the Batmobiles, so here we have the 1989 Batmobile from not Michael Keaton's, but Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton. So this was his Batmobile for 2 movies. I was really pissed at LEGO, honestly speaking, when LEGO released a big gigantic set, and they gave this Batmobile as a gift only to that gigantic 1989 Batmobile set, which was of course very expensive. It is even more expensive now if you try to find it, and it was super weird to give another smaller Batmobile as a gift and not release it. But thankfully, maybe LEGO heard me, but they released this set in a small form factor, and of course it is very affordable, looks really great with the flames, and overall this is one of the best Batmobiles ever to come out of the movies, and it's cool that it is also in a LEGO format. The next one is actually not from the movies, but from the animated series. So back in the 90s, if you haven't watched, there were also Batman animated series, which in my opinion are simply awesome. So if you haven't watched the animated series, you make sure to do that. They're great, they stood the test of time, they look really good, and I truly love the Batmobile from the animated series because it is very angular, it is really sleek, very long, looks really cool. And one fact that I really like about this Batmobile that I got to know basically from the LEGO set, that it actually features a big gigantic turbo diesel engine with, of course, the jet engine. Who would have thought that it would have a turbo diesel. I really didn't know about it, but it features a turbo diesel and a jet engine, which is super cool. So this set is also unique because it is not black like most of the Batmobiles, it's actually dark blue. Some people didn't really like it, but I think it's a great change of pace because the Batman from the animated series was also a bit different. He had like a great suit with blue accents, and this blue Batmobile I think is also super cool, and I think it's fairly unique because of the color as well. And we continue with the collection, and here is the Tumbler. So when it comes to the Tumbler, well, Lego has re-released the Tumbler so many times that, oh my god. And quite recently, they once again released another Tumbler. Why? I have no clue. But, okay, I bought this one before the latest one. It is a really unique and cool Batmobile. So from the Nolan trilogy, it is super unique. It is really down to earth, what I really like, because, well, all of the Nolan Dark Knight trilogy was down to earth, so more true to life villains. Also, Batman wasn't goofy, it was really dark, that's why I like the Dark Knight trilogy. And the Batmobile was also not like from a fantasy movie or something like that, from sci-fi. It was once again more down to earth, so basically a military tank sort of like machine with a unique power to jump. Though it is a little bit sci-fi, but nevertheless it was more grounded, more down to earth, and it's super unique. I truly like how it looks, though I would actually add some flames here. And almost the final Batmobile. So here is the latest Batmobile from the Batman movie that was released quite recently. I truly love this Batmobile. Why exactly? Because it's once again very grounded, down to earth, basically the origins of Batman and also the Batmobile. So it's basically a muscle car with jet engines strapped to the back, sort of. It's really cool, very unique, and I truly like that it is simply raw. It's really like a muscle car turned into a crime-fighting mobile, if you can call it like that. But that's not the only Batmobile that I have from the, well, the latest Batman movie. Ugh. Yes, I also have the Technic Batmobile, and it's a big one. So this was the first time that I've decided, oh, why the hell not? I will buy this gigantic beefy set because it looks super cool. I truly like this Batmobile, and it is just looking stunning. And it actually has also some unique features. That has also some lights, both here and also here. Yeah, so it's a really cool set. If you have the chance to get it, it's amazing. It's a very long build, which is also cool, so you can simply split it. And another Batmobile that I would like to have, and it is in my wish list, is the Batmobile from the Batman Forever movie that features Val Kilmer. He was only in one movie, but I truly like this movie because once again, back in my childhood, I watched it 10,000 times, and also the villains that were in that movie were, of course, the Riddler and also Two-Face. I truly loved this movie, and I really want this Batmobile because, once again, it's my childhood, and I really want it, but it is more expensive than usual, so I still don't buy it, and I really hope that someone will at one point maybe present it as a gift to me. I would really cherish that. So let's start with the oldest of the Batmobiles that will be released next year, and that is Batmobile from Batman and Robin. Now I know that this movie isn't really critically acclaimed. A lot of people think that this movie is goofy, and I also think that this movie is goofy, but I've watched it so many times in my childhood, so it still is somewhere deep inside my heart, and I truly love it, though it is super goofy. And of course, due to the bat nipple debacle. Oh my god, yes. Many people think that this was one of the worst Batman movies, but still, I think it is a good movie. Yes, just take it with a grain of salt when watching it nowadays, but back in the day, it was kind of fine. So I still truly love this movie. And what I think about the new Batmobile that will be released from Lego, so this will be the first time that Lego releases a Batmobile from Batman and Robin, which is super cool. It is unique, so it is for the first time, and finally we get something new from the Batman franchise when it comes to Batmobiles. Because Lego has re-released the Tumbler many times, the 1989, of course, Batmobile plenty of times, and even the newest Batmobile was re-released several times, and we will talk about it a little bit later. So when it comes to the Batman and Robin Batmobile, I think it looks quite unique, it is quite interesting, so it's completely new. Though, of course, if we talk about logic, it has no logic at all, because it is a open-top Batmobile, which is like, what? So basically, Batman needs a helmet to drive it. And his mask won't cut it because he will simply get fleas, flies, and mosquitoes in his eyes. Oh my god, it even sounded quite weird. And yes, of course, he will eat a lot of bugs along the way while driving it if he drives it without a helmet. So it's a bit odd, an odd Batmobile, but it is fairly unique. That's why I will simply get it. And of course, the price is great, so I think it's a great addition to the collection. The second one is Ben Affleck's Batmobile, so from the Batman vs. Superman movie. Honestly speaking, I don't really like Batman vs. Superman. And overall, Batman from Ben Affleck, it's not my favorite Batman, honestly. But when it comes to his, Batmobile, I think it's a cool one. So it is sort of similar to the Tumbler, that it is like low-key. It's basically sort of like a all-terrain tank, if you can call it like that. So it's not very fantastic from the Tim Burton era. So I think it's fairly unique. It's cool that they decided to re-release this specific Batmobile, because, well, the very first one was released quite far back in the day. So, and I don't have it, though I don't really like the movie, especially because of Martha. These things, like when it comes to the plot itself and overall the CGI hidden mustache of Henry Cavill. So yeah, I will still get it because it looks unique. It was released quite long ago. I don't have it in my collection, and I think it will be a really great addition. And the last but not least is the Batmobile from the latest movie that was released in 2022, actually, so not long ago. And for some unknown reason, Lego decided to re-release this set, this Batmobile, once again. I don't see the point of re-releasing the Batmobile. It was released not so long ago. Why did Lego decide to release it? I have no clue. And also, they made some changes to the Batmobile, and I think that the old one actually looks better. So what was the reason of releasing it? Okay, maybe because already the 1989 Batmobile is on store shelves. Also, the Tumbler recently was once again re-released. So here I have a hunch that they simply didn't have enough Batmobiles that weren't on store shelves. So that's why they decided to re-release the latest one. So will I get that one, the latest Batmobile that I already have? Of course not. But of course, if you don't have it, then of course get it. Though I would actually recommend to simply get the old one, because I think it looks much cooler, especially with all of these flames because, well, just have a look at how it was announced in the movie itself. Get it? Really, it needs some flames. So those were my thoughts on the newly announced Batmobile sets. Please write down in the comments what do you think about them, will you get them, and also what do you have in your Batman Lego collection. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe in order for the community to grow. Thank you everyone, and it's a bye for now. Peace!